So Cenat is probably the largest streamer on the internet. I don't know 100% if that is accurate or not, but from what I've seen, I would arguably say that he is probably the biggest face of Twitch especially, and he's a very popular figure in the online space. On August 18th, 2025, Cenat started up a stream at 11:30 at night. It was pretty late, and he streamed to up to 200,000 people at once to reveal that he is going to be the next Fortnite Icon Series skin. Now, I want to just get this out of the way here. I am not a Cenat fan. Not saying I dislike him. It's just a matter of I don't watch his content. I don't watch a lot of streamers anymore. I used to back in the day when like XQC was still playing Overwatch and other streamers around that sort of size. I used to be involved with streaming culture and stuff like that, but I haven't really gotten myself back into that sort of space. What I'm trying to say is that I think Cenat deserves his Icon Series skin. He's obviously really popular, and it would make sense for him to get a skin in the game. And I think that the skin looks pretty good, and I'm excited to see it in game. And I'm excited to see all the other stuff that we might get out of it, because from what I've seen of the skin itself, I feel as though it's going to get a netted style or two, but that's just me. I'm curious to know how it's going to look in game. That is my main point here. I don't know much about him, but I know he's a very popular figure and he deserves the skin. The reason why I keep bringing up the fact that I think he deserves the skin is that there is some discussion that the Fortnite community, especially on Twitter, has that says Cenat does not deserve the Fortnite skin. Speed should have gotten the skin. Dakotas should have gotten the skin. Typical Gamer should have gotten the skin. Let's talk about it. So right off the bat, Cenat, I do think deserves the skin. He is a very popular icon in the space, not necessarily in the Fortnite space, but in the internet space. So right then and there, that makes him eligible, in my opinion, for him to get a skin in Fortnite. A lot of people clearly like the guy, and I think a lot of people are going to buy his outfit in Fortnite. It makes total sense. But people have this issue that he is getting a skin and other people that might be a bit more deserving of a Fortnite skin don't actually get it. So I want to talk about this because this is actually a really good point that I brought up on stream the same day I'm recording this video, by the way. I had this sort of epiphany that I wanted to talk about. There's a reason as to why people are upset that Cenat is getting a skin. I don't think it's because they don't like Cenat. Far from it. I think a lot of people, I would say the majority of people like Cenat. But what it comes down to is the fact that he's not really heavily associated with Fortnite, like, at all. The only thing I can think of with him in Fortnite is when him and Speed did a stream where they would stream until they actually got a win with a whole bunch of stream snipers and stuff like that. It was very entertaining. And he was dressed as Aerial Assault Trooper. I thought that was a really cool touch. And Speed, I think, was just dressed as a normal default. From what I can gather, Cenat does not do a lot with Fortnite. And that's why people are upset. People want more Fortnite-oriented people to be in the game rather than just random popular people getting in the game. Like Mr. Beast, for example. Mr. Beast doesn't do a lot with Fortnite whatsoever, but he got a skin in the game because he's the biggest YouTuber on the planet. I understand the frustration because guess what? I feel the same way too. I think Dakotas, especially Dakotas, deserves a skin more than really anybody else in the Fortnite space. And I'm sure there's other Fortnite people like Courage JD and Typical Gamer and all these other Fortnite YouTubers. I think they all deserve skins. Trust me, I think they all do. And that's what's gotten people frustrated, is that Fortnite would rather spend money and time on people that don't really care about Fortnite to get skins in the game. That's where the disparity starts, because you have people saying Speed should have gotten the skin because Speed plays a ton more Fortnite than Kai does. And I agree. I think that Speed deserves a Fortnite skin. I wasn't really sold on Speed for a while, but then he really picked up his act. He was in the Royal Rumble one year, and I thought he was hilarious. I thought it was great. And I get it. I get the hype behind Speed, and I think Speed deserves a Fortnite skin. As I said, he plays more Fortnite than Kai does. But I want to get this through your heads because I feel like a lot of people are kind of forgetting this. The most recent collab skin we got in the game was deadmau5. deadmau5, I don't think plays a lot of Fortnite. We also have the Sunny skin. I don't think he plays a lot of Fortnite either. Then we have Bruno-san and Die With A Smile Bruno skins. And Sabrina Carpenter. And Snoop Dogg. And Shaq. And Marshmello. And Eminem. And Ice Spice. And the entire Metallica band. Billie Eilish. Ariana Grande. The Weeknd. Tabby Lame. There's a ton of people that are in the game that are Icon series that don't really play much Fortnite. And even if they did, they don't make a lot of content or stream Fortnite enough to the point where people will accept them as Icon skins. You gotta treat Cenat's Icon inclusion like them. I think he deserves it in the sense that he's a very popular entertainer. But no, he doesn't deserve it in the sense that like he's a Fortnite content creator or a Fortnite streamer, because that's not what he does. That's just not what his shtick is. And that's okay. He still deserves the skin credentials alone. Like, that's what you gotta realize. This is not a Fortnite content creator icon series skin. This is another one that's a very popular real life person. Like, that's the one thing I have an issue with when people say, oh, Speed deserves it more. Speed deserves it more because he plays more Fortnite and streams more Fortnite than Kai does. That doesn't mean Kai doesn't deserve it. It just means we want Speed more because Speed does more with Fortnite. I realize now why there's this disparity, why there's this issue, why we're upset that Kai is getting a skin and other content creators are not. Because this is just a little vent from me, a little personal opinion. But ever since Tim Sweeney took over Fortnite, it feels as though that the game has gotten way more corporate and they don't care enough about the community. When was the last time we had a community made skin in Fortnite? It's been years since we had one. And you know how we felt when we got a community made skin in the game? We felt noticed. We felt like, oh my God, Fortnite really gives the community a chance. We had the feeling of being seen with our art, with our photography, with our videos, and with our streams. Like, we felt like we were noticed. When a YouTuber got into the game, we felt noticed, right? That's why people care more about the Fortnite icons rather than just celebrity icons, because celebrity icons don't really pertain too much to Fortnite, but the Fortnite content creators and streamers do, and we want to see them get skins in the game because we think they deserve it. That makes sense. You have the right to be upset that another celebrity took the spot of a potential Fortnite content creator or streamer's place. You can have that feeling because guess what? I think that because everything's so much more corporate now, they would rather get more noticeable faces in the game rather than just your typical Fortnite streamer and content creator. Yes, I think Typical Gamer will get a skin eventually. Yes, I think Courage JD will get a skin eventually. I hope to God Dakotas gets a skin eventually in the game. But you got to understand how huge Kai Cenat is. He's huge. They are focused more on profits than putting familiar faces in the game that are Fortnite specific. So I understand why people are upset about Kai being put into the game. I don't think people have a problem with him being put into the game. I think people have a problem that Fortnite won't put in Fortnite specific content creators and streamers into the game. And unfortunately, Kai Cenat is in the situation where he's the hugest dude and it's like, well, I'm being put into the game because of my branding and who I am, which is fine. But people would rather see Fortnite content creators and streamers be put into the game than just another celebrity. And I think that's where everyone's annoyance comes from. I don't think it's because they don't like him. Again, I don't really see any issues with him. I don't know him personally, but I don't really see a ton of negativity with him. If he was that much of a brand risk for Fortnite because he was super controversial, they would not put him in the game. So that's my mindset where like, yeah, he's probably fine to be put into the game if they're doing all this effort and putting him on the Vegas sphere and all that. Obviously, they're okay with him being put into the game. They've done the research. They've done the background checks. He's okay to be put into the game. If you don't like Kai Cenat being in the game, you do not have to buy the skin. But I will admit, I am upset that we aren't getting more Fortnite faces in the game, and instead we're getting more celebrities in the game. Because we do get a ton more celebrities than we do Fortnite content creators and streamers, and that's just how it is. And I also wish that Fortnite would get back into making community-created skins again. When we got a skin in the game that was made by Sharktooths or GG's Labs or anyone else that has made a skin concept in the game, when we saw that skin in the game, we felt noticed, we felt seen, we felt that Fortnite cared. And ever since Tim Sweeney took over, the game has gotten a lot more corporate, and I feel as though we don't get that same sense of community as we once had. And Kai Cenat being put into the game is just another one of those things where we feel like we're not being seen and we don't get enough community support around the game. And they would much rather collaborate with the biggest people on the planet and not put people in the game that have carried this game to its peak. And I can understand the frustration. And hopefully the people that put the game where it is today gets that recognition with the skin or something like that. And I'd like to know your thoughts and feelings on it. Again, I don't think it's because people dislike Kai. I think it's mostly due to the fact that we want more Fortnite-specific people in the game and not just another celebrity. Like, comment, subscribe, code iTalk if you'd like to support me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all later. See ya.